So, normal operation were inevitably number disturbed November 8, 1942. A representative of director of prison transferred the colony and its properties to the Japan authorities. So it's being transferred to the Japan authorities. The remaining colony employees, their families, and the inmates evacuated to Iwahig, wherein they organized Davao Penal Colony in a Gawan Sub-Colony, Palawan. The organization of the colony in exile was authorized by virtue of Memorandum Order Number 60, dated June 28, 1943, and signed by Director of Prison. So, next. After the liberation of the Philippines, the colony in exile in Palawan returned to its old site in Davao. A great deal of rebuilding and repair had to be done because the war had most completely destroyed the colony. So after the liberation of Philippines, the colony in exile in the Philippines returned to old site in Davao. So it is a great deal had to be done because of the war had almost completely destroyed the colony. So next is Sablayan Prison and Penal Farm. So this is the picture or the image of Sablayan Prison and the Penal Farm. Nearer to Manila than other penal colonies, the Sablayan Penal Colony is located in Occidental Mindoro and relatively new, established on September 26, 1954 by virtue of Presidential Proclamation Number 72. The penal colony has a total land area of approximately 16 and 190 hectares. 16,190 hectares. So this is a great landmass of area of prison system. Prison so prison records show that the first colonists and employees arrived in Sablayan on January 15, 1955. Since then, several buildings have been constructed, including the colonies, dormitories, employees' quarters, head guardhouse, schoolhouse, chapels, recreation halls, and post exchange. So, the Sablayan area or landmass uh, been constructed several buildings, just like dormitories, employees' quarters, guardhouse, schoolhouse, chapels, recreation hall, and post exchange. 3 subcolonies were later organized. One is the reservation of this. They remains part of protected rainforest. Another is the coastal area. So, coastal area and rainforest and coastal area. And third was the national government as a relocation site for refuge from the eruption of Mount Pinatubo eruption in 1991. So there are 3 subcolonies or later organized. Sablayan Prison is a facility where prisoners from New Bilibid Prison are brought for uh, decongestion purposes. It follows the same colony standard as another penal farms. Next, the Leyte Regional Prison. So, this is the image or the picture of Leyte Regional Prison. So, let's talk about the Leyte Regional Prison. The Leyte Regional Prison, situated in Aboyong, Southern Leyte, was established a year after the declaration of martial law in 1972 by virtue of Presidential Decree number 28. So, the Leyte Regional Prison was established after the declaration of martial law. So, after the declaration of when Marcos declared a martial law, it was established this prison system, uh, by virtue of Presidential Decree number 28. While its plantilla and institutional plant were almost ideal, lack of funds made the prison unable to realize its full potential, and its facilities are often below par compared with those of other established penal farms. So, the reason why um, not reach the full potential and its facility are the reason of lack of funds and budget, and not the same to the other penal farms. So the LRP as an inmate capacity of 500, and it follows the same agricultural format as the main correctional program. In addition to some rehabilitation activities, the prison admits convicted offenders from Region 6 and from the National Penitentiary in Muntinlupa. So, they also follow the same agricultural format as the main correctional program, in addition to some rehabilitation activities. So they also do um, re, rehabilitation activities, just like and they also do um, cultivating activities and many others. So next, provincial jail system. Provincial jail system was first established in 1910 under the American regime, supervised and controlled by the provincial government and headed by the provincial jail warden. So provincial jail system was first established in 1910 under the American regime. So and the provincial jail system is uh, structurized or um, structurized or executed by the American regime, supervised and controlled by the provincial government and head of the provincial jail warden. So their vision, an institution managed by God-centered professionals and trained personnel to serve as the principal catalyst for rehabilitation, restoration that leads to performation of the social, physical, and spiritual aspect of person being detained to develop as law-abiding citizen for eventual reintegration into the mainstream of the society. So, their vision is to produce God-centered, professional, and trained personnel to serve the principal catalyst for rehabilitation, restoration, and that leads to perform the social, physical, and spiritual aspect of person. They will produce well-trained personnel, the warden and mga authorities. So, mission. The office of the provincial warden shall promote the safe and total detainee and rehabilitation restoration of detainees under its custody. So, their mission is to promote safe and total detainment and rehabilitation or restoration of detainees under its custody. Next. So, goals and objectives. Office of the Provincial Warden is committed to carry out effective implementation of all programs, projects, and activities relating to jail, detainment, and rehabilitation of prisoners being sentenced, detained, or held for trial by the Court of Justice. So, develop the attend to the welfare of detainees and the provincial jail by providing subsistence and other welfare benefits and through provision of jail recognition programs. So, there next their function and objectives. Provide protection, service, and prepare the inmates socially, physically, mentally, and spiritually to become productive citizens for their eventual reintegration into the mainstream of society upon pardon or release. So, um, they provide protection service and prepare inmates when they release. They should have social, physical, mental, and spiritually become productive citizen, and to have the character reformation, a new character reformation, um, from a bad guy to a good one. So, next, public attorney's office, or what we call PAW. Public Attorney's Office, or PAW, is attached agency of the Department of Justice which provides indigent litigants free legal assistance. So, example, um, when you are a poor citizen of a certain place, then there was a crime incident that you are involved, and are not the uh, you are not the suspect, or the criminal um, of a certain criminality or incident, um, you will get a attorney, a public attorney, that will fight your stance and to prove that you are not guilty. Next. Uh, the POW shall be an interdependent and autonomous office but attached to the Department of Justice in accordance with Section 38 3 Chapter 7 of Book 4 of this code for purposes of policy, the program coordination. The POW shall be principal law office of the government in exceeding free legal assistance inter to indigent person in criminal, civil, labor, administrative, and other quasi-judicial cases. So, POW will directly help you if you are lacking of money to have a personal lawyer. Uh, there are government the government will help you to have a lawyer. Powers and function. The POW shall in, independently discharge its mandate to render free of charge legal representation, assistance, and counseling to indigent person of criminal, civil, labor, administrative, and other quasi-judicial cases. In the exigency of the service, the POW may be called upon by power government authorities to render such service to other persons subject to existing law, rules, and regulations. So, POW are free of charge. You will not pay anything. You will not pay amount of money. They will help you. They will assist you and counsel um, indigent person in a criminal or civil, labor, administrative, and other quasi-judicial cases. So, their mission is the public attorney office exists to provide the indigent uh, litigants, the oppressed, marginalized, and underprivileged members of the society free access to courts, judicial, and quasi-judicial agency by rendering legal services, counseling, assistance in consonance with the constitutional mandates that free access to court shall not be detained to any person by reason of poverty in order to ensure the rule of law, um, truth, and social justice as components of the country's sustainable development. So this is their mission. They will help and assist counsel um, the indigent people. Their vision: a government agency that is God-centered and dynamic bureaucracy that is responsive to the ever-growing legal needs of the indigents and oppressed, led by highly competent, world-class development-oriented, honest, dedicated, and nationalistic leaders and lawyers. So this is the um, standards and um, characteristic of um, the POW lawyers. They have good intention, the good heart. They are God-centered and a dynamic bureaucracy that is responsible to ever-growing legal needs in indigents to fight uh, criminal activities into the court. That's that's all, and thank you.